This is my Peugeot 208 GTI that later in the video I'm going to be swapping with a complete stranger. And as of right now, I have no idea what car I'm actually swapping it for. Which is what makes swapping cars so fun, because you never actually know what you'll end up with next. As long as I'm swapping for cars that are more value than the current car, then I don't see why in the future I can't swap my way up to getting my hands on a supercar. So, how does it work? Well, it's simple. I take a car that has a few issues, I fix them all myself, and then I put the car up for swaps in hopes of being offered another vehicle of more value with more issues. So the new owners end up with a car that is fixed, reliable, and has no issues, whereas I end up with a car that's worth more money but also has more problems. And so far, it's worked out pretty well. But now I've taken care of all of them problems with this 208 GTI, it's time to move this car on. But before I do, there are two things that I want to add to this car before we move it on. So, the first of those two things that I want to get done is an MOT. Now, this is something that isn't actually necessary because there's 30 days left on the MOT for this car, but because it's going to one of you guys that are subscribed to the channel and support me, I at least want to put it through an MOT so you all know that it is all roadworthy and there is nothing wrong with it. So, I've actually got it booked in for an MOT today. In fact, in about an hour's time. So, there's a few things that I just want to go around the car and check before we head there and get it MOT'd. So first things first, I'm just going to double check the level of the oil in the engine. This is actually something that the MOT tester will check, so you want to make sure that it's between the minimum and maximum level. I'm then going to top up the washer fluid just so I know when I get there I'm not going to run out. I'm then going to check the fog lights, all the indicators, and then what I'm going to do is use one of the neighbour's windows to press the brake pedal and see if it's actually working, which luckily for me it all was. And last but not least, I'm just going to go around the car and check all the pads and discs just to make sure that they have got some life left in them. And I think that is pretty much everything that I can check myself on the driveway. The rest of it now is up to the MOT tester. The tyres are all good, the brakes are all good, the washer fluid works, the wipers work, all the lights work. Let's go see if it passes. So I'm going to head over to see the lads at Woodborough Garage where I've booked this car in for an MOT. They're going to check everything on this car front to back just to make sure that it is definitely roadworthy. So from now, I've just got to hope that everything is A-OK. We shall let Danny do the MOT test in peace because you're not meant to film MOT tests. And fingers crossed, there is nothing wrong at all with this little Peugeot, so the new owner can sleep at night. And after around 45 minutes checking all the components of this car, it was time to find out the results, whether it had passed or failed. So the big question, did it pass or did it fail? Luckily, it did in fact pass. And all we've really got is just a little bit of wear and tear on the advisories, which is just the brake discs all round, which on this car aren't an expensive fix at all, but their advisories, they are going to last at least 365 days. So now the car's got a fresh MOT and it's all working fine and all the problems are fixed, we can now go back, and I've got one more thing that I need to do before we get some pictures and put it up for swaps. And the second thing that needs doing, of course, before we put this car up for swaps, is the number plates. How can I let a car go without the traditional 150 to 150,000 number plates? A few people have moaned about these in the comments. They're number plates. You can remove them with sticky tape and put whatever you want on it. That is up to the next owner. But for now, these are going on and there's honestly nothing you can do about it, because you're watching the video and by the time that you've watched it, it's happened. It's in the past. We can move on.
let's get these off.
And while I'm replacing these number plates, if I could ask a massive favour from everyone watching this video to just double check if you're subscribed to the channel, because 60% of you that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed, and I am less than 5,000 away from 100,000 subscribers, which is literally a dream of mine. So if you could hit that subscribe button down below, that'd be massively appreciated.
And that is officially the last job to do on this 208 GTI. Next step is taking some pictures of it and getting it up for swaps, which personally is my most favourite part. Let's get it up for swaps.
So I'm just going to go around the car, remembering to take as many pictures of as many parts as I can, because pictures sell a car.
That's all the pictures taken. Let's go in, let's upload them to the Facebook swap site and see what we end up getting offered.
So I'm going to upload the pictures to Facebook, and I'm going to include a brief description on the car, including the mileage, how many owners it's had, the condition, etc, etc.
Right, now we wait. Okay, it is now the next day, and it's safe to say with 100 comments on this post, we've had quite a few offers from things such as Mercedes E250s, MX-5s, we've even had 3-wheel motorbikes. We've got campers, which I thought this was a camper to start with, but it actually isn't, so it's high mileage also. This S3 ended up, unfortunately, just not being as much value as I thought it would be, but an S3, man. We've got another motorcycle here. I don't know what I'd be able to do with that. We have had loads of offers, so if you are one of them people, then I do appreciate everyone that does offer something for the cars, but unfortunately, I don't think anything at the minute would be either a step up or would be going up in value. But luckily, with that being said, I have had a message on Instagram from one of you guys saying that you've got a car that you are happy to swap. It has got a few problems, and the guy that is actually wanting to swap just doesn't want to sort them problems and just wants a car that is fully working that he can sort out. The only issue is this. Yeah, one of them issues is the fact that the tyres are completely bowled on the front. So I've pretty much confirmed the deal with this guy. The only thing I've got to work out is how I'm going to get the car back with these bowled tyres, which I'm not willing to drive it because that is just dangerous, and it can also be points on your licence. So I've got to try and figure out a way of getting this car home, but we have confirmed the swap. The guy is 100% going through with it. We've just got to climb that little hurdle. So let me see what I can do, and we'll go from there.
I was starting to think that maybe we couldn't actually swap for this car because of them tyres, but luckily I had a little breakthrough.
Because the wheelman has actually just messaged me and says that he's got some loan wheels that I can actually borrow to swap when we get to the new car to be able to drive it back to this driveway. So let's fly to Langley Mill and go and get them wheels. Thank God. I thought we might have had to pass on this one, but yeah, Sam's come in clutch with this one. Let's go grab them.
Luckily, the 2 rear tyres on the car that I'm swapping for were actually okay, so we only need to borrow the 2 front ones from Sam.
And there we go, 2, I mean, they've seen better days, but 2 Audi wheels from the wheelman. Now we can actually go and get the new car. I'm knackered, mate. I've been running around all day. Yeah. All day. Right, let's do it. But before I set off on this 3.5 hour drive to swap this Peugeot 208, there's one thing that I need to do to make sure that I get there and back all safe and sound. And that, of course, is to grab myself an energy drink, because I want to make sure that I'm concentrating and not getting tired while I'm on the road. And instead of me stopping off on the way and collecting myself a horrible, nasty, generic energy drink that's going to do me no favours whatsoever, I've made myself a Holy so I can be a lot healthier and have a bigger energy boost. And one great thing about Holy is there's no added sugar, there's no artificial flavours or colours. And the best bit about it is that in 500 millilitres of Holy, which is equivalent to one of these sachets, there is only 80 calories. And also, do not worry, because if you can't decide on a flavour, Holy actually offer a sample box with 7 of their best flavours. They also don't just supply energy drinks, they also have iced tea and my favourite, which is the hydration. I have literally been living off this stuff for the last 2 months, and I've noticed a huge difference on how efficient I am with time and work because I'm getting a longer energy boost. But you don't have to take my word for it. Hit the links in the description and I'll leave 2 discount codes on the screen now that you can use to get yourself money off, so you can decide for yourself if I'm lying or not, which I'm not. And now that I'm properly refueled, let's go and put some fuel in this Peugeot 208 and go and swap it for the next car. Okay, wheels are ready. We have got a full tank of fuel. All we've got to do now is set off in the morning to go and swap this Peugeot 208 GTI for the next car. Finally.
But then a few hours later, I received a message that was the last message I wanted to receive.
Well, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see me because the time is currently 20 past 10 at night. And in the morning, I was going to be swapping this Peugeot for the next car, which was going to be an Audi A5 facelift 2-litre TDI. But I've just checked my phone and I've had a message, and the guy has told me that he can't swap because he can't insure the Peugeot. It is Friday night. I confirmed this swap with him Wednesday, and in my eyes, when you confirm something, you've obviously already checked your insurance, you've already made sure everything is all good, so you can actually swap cars. But no, at pretty much 10:30 the night before, I've just checked my phone and been told that he can't swap. So we're back to square one. So, it has now been about a week since I filmed that last clip, and in that meantime, I actually secured an Audi A3. The lad was actually quite kind of adamant that he wanted to swap, even replying to other people on the Facebook post saying that I should swap with him. I went through with it. I agreed with him. It was going to be an Audi A3 2014 plate, and the lad just completely stopped replying. I organised transport, I organised how much it was going to cost to fix it, I organised loads of stuff, and the lad just completely stopped replying. I really don't get why people would offer a car to then just back out last minute. I don't get it. But we have now had a message from someone I think a lot of you guys are going to know, and he's told me that he's got a few cars at his place that I can choose from to swap with a Peugeot. So let's head there now, and I don't actually know what I'm going to come back with. So there is a few options to choose from at the place we are heading, and it will all make sense soon. But for now, we've got all the documents for the Peugeot in case we do swap, the spare key, the service history, everything. So let's head there now and see what we can actually find.
And luckily for me, the place where I'm heading is only about an hour and 30 away from where I live, so it wasn't long until we arrived, and I'm sure you can probably guess where we're going.
And where else could we be heading other than Binker? We've come down to see Calvin because apparently he's got a few cars that he's willing to swap for this one.
This is Binker, a buy it now car auction that has a range of cars from 500 quid all the way up to about £100,000. So if I'm gonna find a car to swap with, it's gonna be here. So let's go inside and let's go speak to Calvin from Calvin's Car Diary and see if he's got anything lined up for me.
Calvin! Hello, mate.
Calvin, good to see you.
Nice to see you again. I've got a bit of a favour to ask.
I know you have.
I've got a car down there that I don't want money for.
I know. You don't want money for it.
I don't want money for it.
You want a car for it.
I want a car for it, mate.
Because you're doing this series, aren't you?
I am.
Logbook.
I am, logbook for logbook. And I feel like you're going to have something in the price range of that Peugeot.
Yeah, but the battle's going to be trying to get something that you're stepping up with, but for us to both step up, because this is my business and I do it to earn money.
This is going to be probably one of the hardest ones.
It's a bit of a clash, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think we can do something.
And with that being said, Calvin is going to go through the stock list and give me a list of a few cars that he thinks he'll be willing to swap for my Peugeot. The good thing with Binker is because it is a buy it now car auction, some of the cars here may have a few issues. It is an auction without bidding. So you come, view the cars, and if you like them, you can walk away with them. So once I've got this list, I can go around the forecourt and have a look at the cars myself.
So, Calvin has very kindly gave me a list of cars that he thinks off the top of his head without looking will be in the same price region as my Peugeot that Amar is now filming. So what I've got to do now is go round the lot and see which ones I think would be best suited for the channel. And to start with, we've actually got an Audi S3 in white, which is a 3-door as well, which I think PL08XJU, I mean, from a Peugeot 208 GTI to an Audi S3, I think's a bit of an upgrade. But this is one that I didn't actually have a clue was here. It's arrived over the weekend. Today is literally Monday, and he said he like this is an option that we've got. I mean, what a car with flat bottom steering wheel. It's a manual. And I think this one does have a few of its problems, which is something that is good for me. But of course, even though this is a better car than my 208, it all comes down to the value. So this is definitely up there on this list that I've got. This is probably, well, the most desirable for me personally. I'm just hoping that this is worth more than the Peugeot, but not too much that it doesn't work for Calvin. So we've got to go find the next one, which is a black Jaguar. Let's go find a black Jaguar. Right, this is the next one. I've seen this on the website last night. This is a car that he is willing to swap for my 208, but after looking on Auto Trader, the craziest thing about this car is it is actually worth less or around the same as the Peugeot. So if I was to swap the Peugeot for this Jaguar, in my opinion, this is a way kind of a lot more of a car than the Peugeot, but I'd kind of be doing a side step instead of a step up. But I mean, the interior is like, everything about this car in my opinion is better. It's faster, it's nicer, it's comfier, it looks better, it looks more modern. But what's the point in doing this series is if I'm just going to constantly step sideways instead of up? So I think so far the S3 is a better option, but we've got an Audi TT on the list as well, which I think is this one, this Audi TT, which I think is worth quite a bit more than the Peugeot. Obviously it is a 12 plate, well 62 plate, and it is a TDI S-Line in white, and it's a very nice car if I'm honest. The interior is a manual, again, flat bottom steering wheel, just a really nice car. But I don't know, like I say, this all depends on pricing and what's worth more and what's worth less. So it's just an option. Now, the fourth option is this 2013 Kia Proceed GT. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know much about these. All I do know is they are worth more than that Peugeot. So I don't know if Calvin would be willing to offer me this car. I mean, like I say, it's probably worth somewhere in about £1,500 more than the Peugeot. But we'll just have to see what he says. These are one of them cars that I hear great things about, but they never really caught on. You don't see many of them. Not many people have them. And I don't really know why. It's a Kia, that might be why. It's Korean, it's not as popular, but that is on the list as well. The only thing that leaves me to do is go talk to Calvin and see where we're at with the value. Now, I'll be honest, out of all of them, which I knew were here coming, I think I'm leaning most towards the S3, but it's got to be worth more than the Peugeot, but obviously not too much that Calvin can't do the swap. So let's go see what he says. I've had a look round, mate. I'm very interested in the one that neither of us knew would be here right now. Do you know what that one is?
That's the S3, isn't it?
It's the S3, mate. I think it's nice.
I think it's a good car. It needs work.
Needs work, which is perfect for me. I need something that needs work, and obviously it saves you doing the work.
Yeah, it does, yeah. So it's essentially a spares or repair car, but I think it ain't at the end of its life. I don't think it's too good to be broken, isn't it?
Yeah, what do you know what the mileage is on it?
117,000 miles.
So it's not even moon mileage either. It's quite fairly low for the age.
Yeah, it's manual gearbox, it's got the sat nav as well, it's got heated seats.
Oh, it's good spec.
It's pretty good spec, yeah.
And so after a bit more discussing with Calvin, we managed to rule out the Audi TT simply because it was worth about £2,000 more than the Peugeot. The Kia Proceed GT had an issue, but was also worth about £1,500 more than the Peugeot, so it's one of them that Calvin might not be able to actually swap me for. I like this one, but it might be a little bit out of my reach. The Jaguar was also a sidestep. It was worth about the same exact money as my Peugeot, so that one was ruled off the list as well. And that only left us with the Audi S3, which apparently was in the same price bracket as the Peugeot. But what Calvin told me next, I was not expecting.
If you were buying the S3 for cash today,
Yeah.
I'd let you have it for £3,000.
3,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I came to sell the Peugeot, how much would you give me for the Peugeot?
I'd probably give you more than £3,000 for the Peugeot.
So the S3's technically less, and it's got more issues.
And it's got more issues. So if I was you, I wouldn't take the S3 because it's not a step. Well, no.
Oh no!
But this is the thing.
Is that really worth less?
It's worth less. That car is worth, well, at £3,000 it's cheap.
Yeah.
But it needs a lot of work. But you might look at that and think, wow, that's an opportunity there for it to. It might be worth more money at the end of it, but it might need a hell of a lot of work to get there. And I don't know.
I'm assuming the Kia is going to be worth quite a bit more as well.
The Kia is going to be worth the most out of all of them.
Oh, what, over the TT?
Apart from the TT.
Oh, okay, so you may not be able to do the Kia.
The Kia is going to be. The Kia's value is so much more than the Peugeot.
Is it?
Yeah. But it has got an issue. So the private value of that is £5,320.
5,300 private?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that is worth quite I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite a bit more, isn't it?
It's quite a lot more. It's like £1,400 more than the Peugeot. But how do you... but it has got an issue. And, you know, it needs... Whatever's wrong with it needs sorting.
It does need sorting.
And it's in our queue to get fixed. We can get it fixed for you. But then you don't want to do that.
But then I want to fix it. Yeah. I want to fix it.
So it's either go with the S3 and chance stepping sideways in value. Okay. Like from the Peugeot S3, and also take on the project of a lot more work
fixing
and
it.
Money as well.
And money. Yeah.
And you're really going into the unknown. You've got an engine problem and a gearbox problem.
Yeah.
Or
does that S3 drive home, by the way? Does it? Do you know?
I wouldn't. You've got a long journey home. You've got a long journey home.
That's another question.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Okay.
I ain't got a clue. It's been sold to us as a non-runner, but it does run.
Okay. So for content, this is the awkward part about this video. So for content, the S3. For the end goal, the Kia.
The Kia is better for you.
But then it's if you're willing to do the Kia. Have you got the key for it?
Yes.
Have you got the key? Well, I hope you would.
Do you want to have a look at it?
Let's have a look at the Kia, and at the end of the day, it's up to you, mate. Or we go film your video.
Yeah.
And see what you can come up with. You need to have a drive on the Peugeot.
I need to have a look at your car. So let's do that now.
Let's go drive
my video, looking over your car.
Let's go see what the Peugeot's about.
And see what I conclude with that.
So now Calvin is going to be filming a video on the Peugeot 208 GTI, which I will leave a link to his channel in the description. Go check it out. He films some amazing videos, all at Binker, all buying cars and all selling cars. But now it's left Calvin in a bit of a sticky situation because the Audi S3 for me probably isn't a way forward, but the Kia is worth a lot more.
Okay, so we've got the S3 here, but obviously Calvin has told me a few things about the S3 that I didn't know, which are...
Well, it's got an engine issue.
It's got an engine issue.
It's got a gearbox issue.
It's got a gearbox issue.
And
what doesn't make sense to me is that this car is worth only a little bit more than that Peugeot. That to me is nuts, because that's a way more desirable car, in my opinion.
I suppose if you know, with a bit of love, a lot of love, even a lot of work, it would be a nice car, and it would be valuable at the end of it. But
yeah.
If I don't know, I can't make a decision for you.
It's tough.
But obviously, yeah, if you want to do the deal, I'm up for doing the deal with this.
So you're happy to do this one, but obviously the Kia is a little bit...
This, for me, makes absolute financial sense. For me to swap this car for that, I'm well up for doing that.
Is that a good thing for me then?
Is that exactly that?
That's the problem.
And that's why I keep saying to you, like with this series, you've really just got to focus on value.
Value. That's
Values
it. Value,
mean everything.
value.
You could be swapping that for a transit van, and I know that, but the transit van's worth more money.
That's a great way of explaining it. Yeah.
But if the channel or the audience say, "Oh, but it's just a bloody transit van, it's boring," the point is you're trying to get to that end goal, and the only way you're going to get to that end goal is keep leveling up in value.
Exactly.
So do I think doing this, I mean, it would be quite entertaining,
yeah,
but do I think it would be a great level up in value? I actually don't, Jesse.
Really?
I don't, man.
I had my heart set on this one.
I
as
know,
well.
I can imagine.
I can't believe that. It's if you can do the Kia then, mate.
Yeah, I've just kind of dug myself a hole there, haven't I?
I mean, yeah, alright mate, we'll go on the more expensive car. The Kia, mate, the Kia.
Kia.
See, I like these. I don't know why they didn't catch on as much, but
still, they kind of did in a small part of the car community. But I suppose they're different because they're Kia. Everyone generally goes for a German car, don't they?
That's it, innit? Yeah, that is it.
They are cool. You know, it's a good car.
So what's this worth?
So the value of this, I think.
If I turned up in this right now, how much would you buy it off me for?
If you turn up, I can't remember the book
Do you
value.
not remember the book value? But I think the private sale value was
I
like...
would give you more for this than I'd give you for that Peugeot. That's
okay.
So that's kind of what you need to know.
And that's got a little bit of an issue as well.
Yeah.
But I think it was £1,400 more than the Peugeot.
Yeah, we've looked at so many book values.
I know, yeah. Mate, I mean, it's up to you. I like these. If I'm honest, I didn't realise you would actually consider this one, being how much more it's worth than the Peugeot, but...
Mate, I weren't considering this one. You shoved the camera in my face. But nearly 100,000 people, that's coming soon as well.
I know, mate. I know, it's round the corner.
100,000 viewers. So no pressure, Cal, basically.
No pressure, mate.
I'm just looking over. I want a little look over. So the wheels, you know, they need doing, but the wheels need doing on your Peugeot as well.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, wheels could. Yeah, I can. The thing is, that's stuff that is good for me because I can get it sorted. I think they want to go black, them wheels.
Oh, there you go. Just suddenly come to life.
Is that misfiring?
No.
No? That's not misfiring, Calvin.
No, it's not misfiring, but it does misfire, Jesse.
So every now, so it's not always misfiring on cold start, just sometimes.
I haven't had it long enough. It's just come in. I haven't had it long enough to know, but I do know that it's in the queue for our mechanic to be repaired. But he's got absolutely loads of work to do, so it will get repaired eventually. But if in the meantime somebody wants to take it,
I mean, think of how much stress I'm taking off the mechanic's hands by doing it myself.
You're just such a good guy, you are.
I'm a nice guy, mate. Yeah, I've been told.
You're lovely.
You can't fault a trier, mate. You can't fault a trier. I mean,
but I'm selling it with a problem, but they ain't even got a bloody problem, has it?
I was going to say it's just fired straight up fine.
Nah, it definitely has got a problem, and you know, I'm sure it will come back.
Imagine if it doesn't.
Imagine if it doesn't. Well, if it doesn't, then you're a winner, aren't you?
I'm a winner. I feel bad then.
Does that mean we're doing a deal?
You tell me, mate. Do you want to do a deal?
Not really, but I do want to be a part of this journey, because this journey of yours has been exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And as it all unfolds, every step, and you're doing it quickly as well. You've gone from one car to the next, to the next, to the next. You went from even the last couple of weeks. It feels like over a short space of time, you've gone from the Merc to that.
Yeah, it's like 5 cars in a month and a half, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's what it's kind of at.
It's been. Is it? It's
There's a tiny little ding, boom, boom, boom.
I just need some spark plugs, mate. I don't know.
I feel bad if it does, mate.
If it does, then it's been a result for you. But I'm happy, man.
Are you happy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Mate, you're an
Take it.
absolute
Take it.
legend. I did not expect to come here and go away with that, if I'm honest. In fact, that now takes the spot for the biggest leap in this series, I think.
That is a big leap. Wow, that's wicked. I'm happy to be
As
part
long
of
as
that.
it's not got a cracked cylinder.
If it has, I'm going to shut shop and hide.
Mate, you're an absolute legend for that.
it'll be
What a
fun.
car.
Yeah, it'll be
What a
wicked.
car.
I actually can't believe we are going to be driving away in a 2013 Kia Proceed GT. This is worth £1,400 more than the Peugeot 208 GTI that I've just swapped it for. Granted, it has its issues, but I'm going to have to sort them myself like we always do. But with Calvin swapping me for this car, it's now brought me up to about £5,500 in value, which to say we started out with that Vauxhall Astra all them months ago is absolutely insane.
Here we go. We have the keys. It is official. The deal is done. Let's just hope that this misfire doesn't become a bigger issue than it already is. Let's do it. Okay, first things first. This is a nice car. This is a really nice car. We've got keyless, engine stop start. I think the key does need a new battery, but okay, we're misfiring now. We're definitely misfiring. We've definitely got a problem to take care of. But apparently, if I now stop the engine and start the engine, it's okay. Safe to say we've got a problem on our hands that we need to get to the bottom of, but for now let's at least try and get it home. Okay, we're driving and it's not misfiring, so I think it's safe to say it's a little bit of an intermittent issue where sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've also noticed a little bit of an issue with the shifter where there's kind of it will go into reverse without having to notch it over again. There is a spring in the center console, so I think that is something to do with it, but as you can see, there's no kind of stop as to where it goes into reverse, so you've got to kind of guess if you're in first or reverse. But for now, we're driving, we're on the road, and we'll see if we get home.
And luckily for me, the car was pretty much faultless all the way back. But then we noticed something on the dashboard that wasn't actually there before, which I think is actually a good thing.
Well, so far so good. We do actually now have an engine light on the dashboard, which is a good thing because we knew that there was a misfire issue with this car, but now the car is actually telling us what that issue is instead of us having to kind of find it for ourselves. It still could, I still do not have a clue what it actually is. We'll have to scan it and find out. But if you check this out on the steering wheel, there's actually a GT button, and if you check this middle screen here, once you press that button, you can actually see on the dashboard you now get turbo and a torque gauge. So when you put your foot down, it actually shows you what both of them are doing, and there's also a digital speedo. And something I didn't even realise is the whole dashboard is actually digital. It is an entire digital dashboard. I've only just noticed it on the way back, but so far so good. It stopped misfiring, we have the engine light, we're in GT mode, things are looking good.
And it wasn't long after that we arrived back at home and I can actually have a proper good in-depth look around the new car.
Now, I've said it before and I'm going to have to say it again, but how in the world have we managed to get here from a £150 Vauxhall Astra? It just doesn't make sense. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, but these cars aren't as popular as, in my personal opinion, I think they should be, because the value for money in this car is absolutely out of this world. The alloys, I know they need a refurb, but they are some nice looking alloys. The car in general, I think, is an amazing looking car. The front end especially, I've seen people put front splitters on these cars and they look seriously aggressive. There's LED running lights, there's even xenon headlights, and I just think they're such an amazing looking car. This also has a 1.6 litre turbocharged petrol engine producing 201 horsepower, so it's safe to say that this has definitely got a pack to punch. The rear lights are also LED strips and I think they look absolutely amazing. It looks way more modern than it actually is, being a 2013 plate. But the best bit for me is on the inside, because this quite literally feels and drives like a German car. It's got all the entertainment system you need. The dashboard is very similar to a Mark 7 Golf kind of interior. 6-speed manual. We've obviously got the issue with that gear stick. We need to figure that out. This car is also completely keyless, so you can leave the key in your pocket. You can unlock the car from the outside without using the key. Put it down there, press the engine start button, and it greets you with a fully digital dashboard. A full digital dashboard on a 2013 car. That is crazy. And you've got the GT button, which turns it from normal to sport mode. I think that is cool. And the only reason I can kind of think of that these cars never actually took off and were never more popular is simply because it is a Kia. But I feel like if you can look past that, you've got an amazing car for the money. But of course, this car comes with its issues that we are going to be diving into and trying to get repaired in the next video. So thanks so much for watching this one. If you do think this was a great swap and you did enjoy the video, please like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
You wear a hat, they call dad. Me, I'm the dad in a hat. You just like clubbing and clothes. Me, I like afternoon naps. 3, I be missed for the road. My oldest like counting racks. My middle one, she's in a dirt bike. My youngest is just like a